Profit economic. We're a non-profit organization working throughout the state of Oregon, and we serve Black-owned businesses. To learn more about the organization and the membership options, please visit us at the website, which is on the screen. So let's get into the presentation. The Reimagine Oregon Opportunity Investment Fund is an initiative to provide economic opportunities to communities disproportionately impacted by cannabis prohibition. The fund offers grants to both for-profit and nonprofit entities, as well as social service organizations with 501c3 designations, and organization that needs to have fiscal sponsors also receive the funding. And these organizations have to be operating in the city limits of Portland. The Black Business Association was one of the organizations that received funding through this fund, and we were granted an award of $150,000 for grants and programming. And we're going to talk about the grants and programming today that will be available through our programs. We have technology grants, we have inventory grants, we have emergency grants, we have a tax preparation program, a business credit program, and direct technical assistance. And we're going to go through each one of these programs so that you can understand what they are. But before we do that, we want to make sure people understand in order to be eligible to receive any of these fundings of these funds or participate in any of these programs, you must be a for-profit business with 51% ownership by a person of color or a woman. You must have active registration with the Oregon Secretary of State's office. You must currently be operating in the city of Portland. We must have at least 2 years of business tax returns, including Schedule C returns. And then we would need to have your current W-9. So let's get into the things we're offering. The technology grants. We're offering $5,000 technology grants that businesses can use to improve their website or to have a website developed. They can also use it for digital advertising and to purchase technology equipment like computers, servers, things like that. The requirements is a 100-point digital audit, and this is a free digital audit that we have made arrangements with the Oregonian to provide for the businesses who want to go after a technology grant. We will make that connection with the Oregonian so that you can get that audit done. They will give you a report, and the report will give you the things that you can improve on your website, and will give you an idea of how your website and your social media are functioning. If you decide to get a website developed or get your website updated, there's a vendor that we have contracted with that you will work with that will do the adjustments or build your site for you. If you're going to be purchasing digital ads, we will need to have invoices for those ads. And if you're going to be purchasing equipment, we need to have invoices for those purchases as well. Inventory grants. Inventory grants are $5,000 grants to replenish or purchase new inventory. This is available for retailers, which covers a large group of businesses. It's available for restaurants, caterers, confectionists, which includes bakeries, candy, ice cream, and home businesses. There are some requirements when it comes to each one of these. When you talk about retailers, you could either be someone that has a brick and mortar location or an e-commerce operation on a website or a third-party website connection. You can also, as a restaurant, have a brick and mortar or can be a food truck. For caterers, we ask that you either are working out of a restaurant kitchen or you have access to a commercial kitchen. For confectionists, which is bakeries, candy, ice cream, again, it could be a brick and mortar location or it can be a food truck. And for home businesses, we need to see that you have a place to store your inventory where you have a site designated at your home or wherever you're operating out of. They have to be able to send us a picture of the site where you're going to be storing your items. Or if you have a storage area that you are paying a monthly rate on that you're using for storing your inventory, we need that. Requirements, we would need invoices from the vendors that you're going to be purchasing your items from. We will make the payments directly to the vendors once we receive those invoices. And once we get the paid receipts, we will notify you that your items are on the way. And once you receive your items, we're asking that you just take pictures of the items so that we know that you did receive them. Emergency grants. We're offering $5,000 emergency grants to cover unforeseen circumstances that businesses may experience. That could be broken windows or doors, graffiti, sign damage, security or prevention, operations, expenses, and weather-related damages. The requirements for this is invoices from the vendors who are going to do the work on your buildings or your signs, what have you. We need to have those invoices sent to us. We'll make the payments directly to those vendors. Again, we will provide you we will show you the pay receipts, and we ask that you show us before and after pictures of the of the um, of the renovations that the vendors have done for your business. When it comes to the operations, we're probably going to ask for a statement to show what exactly happened that caused you to incur some unexpected expenses that affected your operations. So we're probably going to ask for a narrative for that so we can understand that, because we do know things may come up and you may have to use some money that was earmarked for your operations to take care of an unexpected expense. So that is the operations piece, but everything else is straightforward as far as covering emergencies. So we also have tax preparation program, and this is a $2,000 grant program. And this program is designed to help businesses who need assistance with their taxes. The program will talk about the required documents that you need to keep track of, get prepared for filing your taxes. It will also talk about record keeping and probably give you some ideas of some record keeping techniques. And this will be a virtual workshop. This workshop will be moderated by Diane Haley, who is the founder and CEO of Upstart Accounting and Bookkeeping and Strategic Financial Planning firm. For those who want to attend this workshop, it's a 2-hour workshop. It will be virtual. And at the conclusion of the workshop, you will get a grant of $2,000. $1,000 of the grants can be used to go toward paying current or past due taxes. The other $1,000 can be used to pay a tax professional to file your business taxes, or it can be used for you to purchase tax software that you can use to file your taxes. And again, on the tax software purchase, we just need to make sure we get the invoice of your purchase. And then also with the tax filing professional to get an invoice of what they're going to charge to file your taxes. The business credit program, $2,000 grants available to attend this workshop. This workshop will be moderated by Sheila Winston, who is the Vice President and Certified Business Consultant for Chase Bank. She's going to talk about how to get lines of credit, how to get a business credit card, and how to get in a better position to get access to capital. Again, this is a virtual workshop, 2 hours. Those who complete the workshop will be given $2,000, $1,000 to go in your checking account, and $1,000 to go in your savings account. And what we're asking the attendees to do is to work with your bank to talk about applying for a line of credit, or to work with your bank to talk about applying for a business credit card. And all we're asking is that you let us know if you were successful in getting that line of credit. We don't need to know the particulars of it, but we want to know that you were successful, which means that the program did work for you. If you're not, then we have a relationship with Sheila Winston. Well, she will continue to work with you beyond the workshop to try to continue to get you prepared for that. And then finally, what we have direct technical assistance through subject matter experts. This is a program where if you're an existing business and you have some specific problems or a specific problem, and you need a expert to help you deal with this problem, we have a roster of over 40 subject matter experts from around the state that will give you 5 hours of one-on-one assistance, and we will cover the expense of that subject matter expert over those 5 hours. They will meet with you in person or virtually to try to help you solve that problem. They will meet with you based on your schedule to make sure that you don't have to take a lot of time away from your business. So it'll be a very flexible schedule. And what we ask for is for you to be able to articulate the specific problem that you're having so that we can make sure that when we assign a subject matter expert to you, that they are very familiar with the problem. So when you begin the process and start the 5 hours of free one-on-one assistance time, that they can get right to work with you on solving that problem. And the other thing we ask of you is that once you're assigned an expert and you work out your scheduling, please adhere to the schedule or work with your subject matter expert if you have to adjust your schedule. We want to make sure that you get the assistance that you need, and we want to make sure that everyone is respectful of the time and schedules. So I've gone through these programs pretty quick. Now I want to tell you the application process. This is the information session, but starting October 1st through the 31st, the applications will be accepted. On the 1st, you will see graphics and information put out by our communications director of how to sign up for the program for each one of these programs. You can apply for a grant or to attend a workshop, but you cannot apply for multiple grants or multiple programs. Everyone can apply to meet with a subject matter expert at any time. The grant award recipients and program participants will be notified by November 15th if you've been awarded a grant or have been accepted into one of the 2 programs. And then those who are accepted, then we will work with them as far as the other logistics with dispersing dollars and also the scheduling of the programs and the meetings. So I want to go through this pretty fast in order to be able to answer any questions that anyone has. So let's take a look at the chat. And if you haven't put any questions into the chat, I'm encouraging you to do that now so we can start taking a look at the questions and responding. Okay.
I can read off the first few I came across, if helpful.
Okay, that would be great.
So, sorry, my throat's a little dry. Are the general requirements for all the grant, are the general requirements for all of the grant areas? That's from Lindsay.
When it comes to the business credit programs, if you don't have your tax returns, that's fine because that's the purpose. I'm sorry, the business credit, the tax prep program. We understand that you may have challenges with your taxes, and that's why on that program, you still have to have the basic requirements. But for the tax prep program, you do not have to have your tax returns because it's designed to help you with that situation if you don't have them. With the business credit program, if you do not have a bank account, that's fine as well. But all the other programs, we have to be able to verify that you are a business that is currently operating in the state of Oregon and in good standing with the Secretary of State's office.
Does that Does that answer your question, Lindsay?
That was great. Thank you.
Okay. The next question I have, any help for newly formed businesses from Donald?
As part of this program, this program is mainly for businesses that have been in operations for at least 2 years. So if you're a newly formed business and you've been in business for 2 years, we can help. Anything less than that, we do have other programs that we can help you with directly through our organization, but not through this particular program, not through this grant cycle here.
Thank you.
Where would an individual apply for this grant, in person or on your website?
We're going to have a landing page on our website with all the grants where you can go and apply for whatever grant you want to apply for and the program, whichever program you want to apply for. So by the 1st of October, we will have that up and running, so you can go back to our website and go through that portal and apply for the grant online. Everything will be done online.
Sorry, I'm toggling. Can we apply for technology and the inventory grant from Vanessa?
You can apply for one. You can't apply for multiple grants, but we will have a second round after this is the first round. So for example, if you were to apply for a technology grant this time, you can apply for an inventory grant during the next round, which we will notify people when that happens. But you can only apply for one grant, or you can apply for one program, but you cannot apply for multiple. Let's see. Gloria wanted to know how many times can you meet with the subject matter expert?
No, she had a question before that, sorry. It
Where is
said,
that?
does each program or grant have a maximum number of awardees? For example, only 10 awards for tax grants, 4 for business credit, etc. And that's Gloria's first question.
Okay, that's a good question. So for this first round,
Come on, Lance. I need the answer right now.
I'm coming. So for the first round, we got $150,000. So we have $75,000 to work with. So the first round, 2 businesses will get technology grants, 2 will get inventory, 2 will get emergency. 5 businesses will be admitted to the business credit program, 5 to the tax prep program. And then we have a max of 6 businesses that will be able to get the maximum 5 hours of technical assistance from a subject matter expert. And then when the next round comes, it will be the same. 2 technology grants, 2 inventory grants, 2 emergency grants, 5 for the business credit program, 5 for the tax prep program, and 6 for the maximum of the technical assistance.
Okay, and her next question, how many times can you meet with the subject matter expert?
So once you are assigned an expert, you have 5 hours to work with. So if it's a particular problem and you need to have multiple meetings, you don't have to have all the 5 hours at one time. They may take 1 hour to meet with you, maybe 2 hours the next time, but they can spread it out based on your schedule, and you can meet with them as many times as you need to solve that particular problem you're trying to resolve. Then after the 5 hours are up, if you want to continue to meet with their subject matter experts, then you would have to negotiate a fee with them. But we will keep track of the 5 hours of time of you working with that subject matter expert, and we will take care of paying them for assisting you. So it depends on your schedule and how you and the subject matter expert agree to spread out the hours of assistance.
Next question, can subject matter experts also apply for grants and programs?
If they have an actual business, yes, and if this business is in Portland.
Okay, next question. I'm a new business owner. Oh, this will be my first, this might have been answered. I'm a new business owner. This is my first year in business. Would I be eligible for a grant?
Again, you have to be able to show 2 years of tax returns to show that you have been in business for at least 2 years. But as I said, we will have another round next year. So if your second year comes around and you can produce those 2 years of tax return, you will be able to apply for the grant. But now you can apply to be in the tax pro, well, I'm sorry, you can apply to get direct technical assistance at any time, but we need to have 2 years of tax returns from businesses to be able to get the grants.
Sorry, next question. Concerning the inventory grants, due to limited space, I will not be able to purchase all the ingredients at one time. Would I be able to purchase limited ingredients, packaging, submit the receipt, and then be reimbursed?
Well, the way it's going to work, you will have the grant. And for example, say you only purchase $1,500 of the inventory that you need, then you get those invoices and you send them to us, and then we will pay those invoices for that amount. Then when you decide to get more inventory, then you send those invoices, and then we'll continue to pay till you have exhausted your grant. So the controller will keep track of what's been paid and what's the balance of the inventory. So you will have the grant. And the only thing is you have to, we would have to have the grant used up by the end of next year. So you have a year to spread it out if you need to do that. And we'll just work directly with the controller. So again, it depends on the invoices you send in. But you don't have to send them, you don't have to send all the invoices in at one time, because I do understand it doesn't make sense for restaurants or have you to buy a lot of inventory all at one time, and then stuff goes bad. So we can work with you as far as making sure we pay the invoices as we receive them.
Should we expect essay questions or simple check boxes?
Most of the applications are check boxes. We may ask for a little description of your company just to get to know your company better. We will have sections where you will upload the tax returns and your W-9, but for the most part, it's fill in the blank, very short fill in the blank questions and check boxes for you to apply for these grants.
And next question, for African business owners who may not be fully proficient in English, do you provide translation or interpretation services?
I believe we can find someone to do that. So if you are someone that needs translation services, we will work to make arrangements to find someone to help us with the translation.
And then who will review the applications? What if you don't get accepted? Can they ask for a debrief or a public records request?
So the applications, first of all, we're going to take a look. Once you send your information in, we need to make sure that you send everything we've asked for, your returns and what have you. If any of that is missing, then of course, then that disqualifies you for the grant. But once we get everything in, the decision is made. The BBAO team will take a look at all of the applicants, and then we will have to make a decision based on what we see. It's going to be a competitive process, but we want to make sure that this round, that we're able to give the awards to businesses that we feel should get them this time, but we do have another round coming where we can award the grants. As far as a public records request, we're not a government entity, so I'm not sure about the public record request, but we will answer questions if you have questions about your application if you don't receive the grant. But please know that we will have another round, and we are seeking funding to have several other rounds to get funding in order to continue this program of our grants and our programs.
Are these the same grants that NAMAC and MISO are offering or completely separate? This is a person wanting to make sure that they're not double applying for stuff.
No,
And
we're completely separate. Even though we have the same type of grants and what have you, we have our pot of money. NAMAC and MISO has their pot of money. So, for example, if you do get a grant from MISO that does not affect you applying for a grant with us. As a matter of fact, there may be other organizations that may have grants as well. So each organization that was awarded funding have their own programs. So this is completely separate. Yeah.
and similar to that, or kind of add on from that, it says for the subject matter experts, can a business choose their own, or are there ones that have been selected already?
So we have a roster of over 40, and we're adding them to we're adding more to the roster. If you do have a person that you want to work with, you should have them reach out to us and have them to apply to be a subject matter expert. And the reason why we need to have that happen is because we have a CRM system that we're using to keep track of everything that we do for businesses. And it's important for us to train that person on this system, and then for us to evaluate their credentials and what have you to make sure that they can be effective in providing the services as a subject matter expert. So we would have to ask for some information from that person. So if you have someone that you want to refer to us as a subject matter expert, please do so. We'll send in the necessary documents to apply to be a subject matter expert. So I see someone has asked a question about you being a new business, a new startup, and for grants. I would suggest that you contact me. This particular program is not for startups. This is for existing businesses, but our organization can work with you directly one-on-one to try to see if we can help you with the issue. So please reach out to us directly so we can meet and have a conversation and find out the challenges that you're having starting your businesses, and we can work directly with you in that regard, but not through this particular grant cycle. So we will take a look at each grant application to make sure that all the pertinent documents are in place, to make sure everyone is registered with the Secretary of State's office. And once we go through that process, then we will take a look at the needs, the business, and make a decision from that way. We would do it as a team. But again, I wanted you to know that if you don't get a grant this time, there'll be other opportunities to get grants. We will get a copy of this recording, and at the end of the presentation, we'll give you the link where you can go to our YouTube page and see this entire presentation again. So someone wants to know if they could participate in the business credit program even without getting the $2,000. Can they take the advantage of the offering? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Well, let's put it this way. What we can do, Sheila Winston is a trusted partner with us. What we can do is we can connect you directly to Sheila Winston. So anyone who doesn't get into the business program and you want to have access to the information that Sheila will give you, and especially she'll talk to you specifically about your business and what you need. We can make that connection to Sheila. It will not cost you anything to meet with her one-on-one, but she is doing this as a favor for this particular program. But what we can do, if you want to get information or take advantage of Sheila's wisdom and knowledge, let us know, send me an email, and I will do a direct connection to Sheila, and then she will connect directly with your business to talk about how she can assist you with building your business credit. So let's make sure that we can do that when you send me your information. But as far as the program itself, 5 participants will be in that particular cohort with Sheila, and we'll get the 2,000 for participating. But those who want to meet directly with Sheila after that, we can make that happen. Gonna make sure I answer all the questions here. Okay. Yeah, business, yeah, Diane, this business has been around for 2 years. However, there's a pivot in the services. So again, in order to verify the business has been operating for 2 years, we would need the 2 years of tax returns. We do know businesses do shift and change, but as long as you can show us that you have 2 years of tax returns, you're registered with the state of Oregon, then we can work with you as far as you do qualify for a grant. So the funds cannot be used for continuing education. This is for business support directly. That was a question that came up. Can you specify which organizations those are? Oh, the National Association of Minority Contractors and the Micro Enterprise, I forget the other, but MISO is a CDFI, non-traditional lender, and NAMAC, or the National Association of Minority Contractors, is a organization that focuses on serving businesses in the construction trade.
We have a couple of raised hands, Lance.
Okay, let's see, Miss Jenkins.
My apologies. I clicked that button in error.
Oh, okay. Okay, Gloria.
Hey there. Okay, so I had a question. So what's the audit process for awardees, right? Somebody gets one of these grants, they don't do what they supposed to be doing. Does this disqualify them for applying again in the future? I'm just saying, like, I get the business emergency grant. I only spend 2,000 of it. You find out that I did not do what I said I was going to do. I guess that money, I assume that money stays in the pool, right? And you disqualify, but what's that process? Can you share that?
So the way we have it set up is that we don't give any money directly to, as far as the grants, you don't get any money directly given to the business. You have to provide invoices and all those type of different things. And we make the payments directly to the vendor, or if you're buying digital ads, what have you. So we make the payments directly. It's your money, but we make the payments directly to the vendors. That is the way that we are making sure that that people are not getting the money and then just doing what they want to do with it. And that's part of the reason why we said that we have a preferred vendor to do the website work, because people may try to do it themselves or have their cousin do it or a friend do it. We want to make sure we have a reputable company that we can hold accountable, and you can hold accountable for developing the websites and doing the upgrades. So basically everything that you see. And then when it comes to the programs of the deposits, we would do the ACH deposits for you for your accounts. So we'll request ACH information, and we'll make the deposit directly into your checking account and your savings account under those credit programs. Also, when when you're talking about a tax professional, we need to know who that tax professional is and what they're going to charge you. We pay them on your behalf. So the mechanism we put in place to make sure we don't have that problem is that no money will go directly to the business. It will go to the vendors or toward the people that are going to be helping you with your taxes or what have you.
Thank you.
Okay. This Michelle Carter has a hand up.
Yeah, you had mentioned that the money will go directly to the vendor. So if you're doing digital ads with like Google AdWords or Facebook ads, would then you guys need access to our accounts to make those payments? Or would it be where the company can just pay and then submit that they already paid for that and get reimbursed? I don't know if I made sense. So like with digital marketing would be like Google AdWords. And so you have your account set up where you're doing the ad feed, and usually in order to make payments, you have to have access to the account to do that.
So yes, if you purchase the ads and they're paid for, if you send us the paid receipt, then we'll pay you directly. That's why we want the W-9.
Perfect. Thank you.
Right. Dr. Hammond.
Hi, my question was in the chat, so you can ignore the chat after this. Looking at the inventory grant, most of the bullet points refer to food-based businesses. Is there a strong preference for food-based businesses for that inventory grant? Or as long as it falls into a food-based business or a home-based business, there's no preference between the two?
There's no preference between the two. And also, any business, because retail is a broad area.
Mm-hmm.
So any business that needs inventory can pretty much, if you're like in a retail, if you're selling something or providing a service that you may need to have an inventory, like then you can apply under the retail area.
Okay, thank
But-
you.
Okay.
Oh, keep going. Sorry. Did you have more you wanted to add, Lance?
No, that was it.
Okay, and then I have one more.
Okay.
So since the number of applicants that will be selected is so small, would you recommend us to apply for a couple so that if we don't get chosen for one, we would still be considered for another? Or are you all expecting us to just apply for that one that we most hope to get?
Because it's so small, we are asking people to apply for the particular grant that they want, and the particular program, because it's a very small number. And that way we can go through the process pretty quick to award the grants and the programs. But again, I have to stress, this is the first time we're doing this. Then we're going to have another session coming up, and we're trying to get funding to be able to increase the number of grants, what have you, so that we can have multiple opportunities and not just have a grant award to one or two people. But again, it's so small. We want people to pick what you want to apply for, and then we'll go from there. But it will take a lot of work on our end, and we have a certain amount of time before we have to have this money distributed by the end of the year, so we want to make sure we do that. So please just apply for one grant that you want this particular time or a program, and then next year you can, or the next time we do this, you can apply for a different one or even the same one if you don't get it.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Do we have any other questions?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
If a business hasn't filed their business taxes yet, are they eligible to apply for any of the programs?
They can apply for the tax preparation program.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see, any other?
Lance, this is Summer. Could you discuss the timelines, just to
Yes.
make sure that we have that on record?
Yeah, so here's the timeline again. So starting October 1st, you'll be able to go to our website, to landing page, and start applying for the grants. You'll be able to click on the graphic and it will take you to the application. The next round, we're looking at March for the next round. And we've also applied for some other dollars from another organization. So it could be a third round as well around that same time. So we will notify you directly because we have everyone's email that took part in this. But as soon as we get prepared for the next round and a potential another round, we will let everyone know. So stay tuned. Take a look at our social media and website for updates about our programs going forward. Let's see. Do we have any more other questions?
Yes, when you say all can apply to meet with subject matter experts, is this only for businesses 2 years or older?
Yes, 2 years or older.
And then I don't know if you got to this question concerning paying the vendors directly. If I receive the grant, and would I give you all my ingredients and packaging supply list to do the shopping?
No. What you would do is you would go to your vendors, get like a purchase order of what you're going to purchase. And you may have multiple vendors. And once you get your purchase orders, you send us those purchase orders. We give them to the controller, and the controller will send the checks out to your vendors. And once they get all the receipts, then they let you know. And you should be able to either pick up your items or they will be delivered. There will be 5 people in the tax program and 5 people in the business credit program. We have any other questions?
Yeah, Lance, I got one more question. So say somebody is selected for this round, what's the chances that they would be selected for the next one? Even if, so they apply for tax this time, but next time, I don't know, they're applying for emergency funds. Are you guys looking at it in that way of like, hey, you've already gotten a grant, or theoretically I could get the grant this time and then also get it for almost every other round?
No, you could get so for example, if you got an inventory grant this time, you wouldn't apply for the inventory grant next time. You have to apply for another grant. Or if you applied and you didn't get it, then you could apply again to try to get it the next time. But if you got an inventory grant this time, you won't be able to apply for an inventory grant next time, but you can apply for the other two grants.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Still have some time. Want to make sure we're answering all your questions. And again, I want to say how much we appreciate the interest of each one of you want to participate in this program. And we are one of several organizations that got awarded funding. So I guess Prosper Portland at some point in time will indicate which organizations were awarded funding. And I would suggest that you go to their websites and see what type of programs they have too. Because as I said, we're completely separate, which means that you can apply for multiple grants from different organizations. So no, the funds are not for operational funding, other than if you get an emergency grant because you had to take some money to handle an emergency that you would normally use for operations. You just give us a narrative of the situation, and then we can replenish your operations money that you had to use to take care of the emergency. That's the only operational funding that we're providing for that, but nothing for capacity building, not with this particular grant. So someone asked, Yolanda, you said, give you a list. What type of list are you looking for? So, so Yolanda Dalton, you asked for a list. Just trying to get an understanding of what kind of list you're looking for.
Well, you mentioned that there are several organizations that receive monies to help Black African American business.
Yes, so Prosper Portland has that list, and what I'm saying is eventually they will post that list of those who were awarded funding, so you will know. So we need to keep an eye on that on their website. They typically would list those who got awarded dollars, so that the public would know where you can go to get grants and what have you.
Thank you on that.
Somebody put the list into the chat. Let's take a look and make sure. Let's see. It's like someone put the list into the chat. So you can only apply for one of the programs, either the tax program or the business credit program, but you can't be in both programs. You can take one this time, and then next time, because we have the grants and the programs will pretty much be the same, you can take the other one then, but you can only pick one for this time. Any other questions?
One last clarifying question. Noel asked, just to clarify, you can apply for the grant program and the tax/business program?
No, you can apply for a grant, but you can't. So if you apply for a grant, you can't apply for the tax program. If you apply for the tax program, you can't apply for the grant. So what would you have to do if you want to apply for a grant this time, but you want to do a tax program or the business credit program, then you wait till the next time and you can do that. You can apply for the program. But because we have such little money, we want to make sure that we give everyone an opportunity to either get a grant or get into a program. So that's why we're trying to avoid people being able to have one of each. So it's up to you. Do the grant this time and bypass the program, and then next time you can do a program. But you can't do both at the same time. Any other questions?
I
So
so.
you can go to we have our YouTube page. This session will be recorded and posted on that page, and this is the address of our YouTube channel. And we'll get this up as quick as possible. And I think what I want to do is I want to send this out to everyone who attended the event, the PowerPoint presentation. So we'll just send it so everyone can look at it. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me. I'll respond back to you. If you have any questions that may come up later, just email me directly. Also, those who are interested in getting connected with Sheila Winston about business credit, send me an email and I'll get you connected directly to them, to Sheila, so she can work with you one-on-one. She's a great resource of ours, and she'd be more than happy to help.
Hey, Lance, did you say you were going to send out the video? The YouTube?
So it's going to be on our YouTube page. What I can do, since I have everyone's email that participated in the event, what I said I wanted to do was send the PowerPoint. And once we get this posted on our YouTube page, I can also send the link as well in the email so that everyone can have the PowerPoint and the link to the recording as well.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Are there any other questions? Well, if not, I really appreciate everyone taking time to attend this information session. We are going to be seeking other funding to make sure we can keep this going, because we do know the needs of our Black-owned businesses and businesses of color, businesses owned by women, and we want to make sure we're doing our part to help with that. And again, please go to our website and reach out to us. We're available. We have a great team, and we really, really want to help businesses be successful here in Portland and beyond. So if there's nothing else, thank you for participating. Be on the lookout for the portal that will go on our website where you can apply for the grants in the program, and then we'll keep you posted going forward of future opportunities with the Black Business Association of Oregon. So thank you. Have a great day, and we'll be in touch soon.
Thank you, Lance. Thank you.
Welcome.